You know, the rise of artificial intelligence isn't just about some new fancy tools. It's a total game changer. And it's forcing us to ask some really hard questions about the one system pretty much all of us go through, school. So today, using the incredible insights of Seth Godin, we're going to explore how AI is basically making the old rules of education obsolete, and more importantly, what we can do about it.
And this is really the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? I mean, for over 100 years, the whole point of school has been pretty clear, pretty stable. But now, with tech, and especially AI just changing everything at lightning speed, we have to stop and ask, are we teaching skills for a world that's already fading away?
And this quote from Godin, it just absolutely nails the stakes. This isn't some sci-fi future we're talking about. This is the choice we're all facing, like, right now. It completely redefines what it means to be valuable in the workplace. So the real question is, which path is our education system actually putting students on?
To really get this, we have to understand a key idea: mediocre work. Now, mediocre doesn't mean bad. It just means average, predictable, the kind of by-the-book stuff you can write a manual for. And guess what? That is exactly what AI is incredible at. It can write an average report, it can analyze data in an average way, and it can do it instantly, for basically free. This is hollowing out the middle of the job market, making the old goal of just being a competent average employee a really, really dangerous career plan.
So, to figure out where we need to go, we first have to get really honest about where we are. And Godin argues that for the last century or so, we've been running education on a very specific playbook, one that was designed for a totally different era.
You see, the factory model of school was a huge success for the industrial age. It was perfectly designed to create a generation of compliant workers, people who would show up on time, sit in neat little rows, follow instructions, and just do their jobs without asking too many questions. The main lesson wasn't chemistry or history, it was compliance.
And you can still see the ghost of that system in how we make decisions today. Godin tells this great story about a high school student who's listing her dream colleges. And the list was so predictable, all the usual expensive, exclusive schools. And when he asked her why those schools, her answer said everything, because that's what I'm supposed to do. See, she was just following an invisible script, making this huge life decision based on compliance, not on a real strategy.
This contrast really gets to the heart of it. The old factory world valued management. It was all about predictability and control. But the world we live in now, the world of AI, it demands leadership. It's not about getting people to do what they did yesterday. It's about inspiring them to figure out a better way to do things tomorrow. It's about building something that people want to be a part of, not just something they have to do.
Okay, so if the factory model is obsolete, what's the alternative? Well, Godin suggests we stop thinking of school as a factory and start thinking of it like a creative studio, a place where unique skills are nurtured, not standardized and stamped out.
The first pillar of this studio is strategy. And look, this isn't about memorizing a checklist of tactics just to pass a test. It's something way deeper. It's asking, what change do I want to make in the world, and who is it for? A real strategy is a long-term philosophy that guides all your decisions. It's absolutely essential for navigating a world that's constantly changing.
And the second pillar is empathy. And again, we're not talking about the soft, fuzzy version. This is about the deep, humble work of realizing that your point of view isn't the only one out there. To create something that truly matters for people, you first have to understand what they see and what they want. This is the core of all real innovation.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in a real classroom? How do we go from the factory floor to the creative studio? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental shift in the role of the teacher.
This is the #1 rule of the new classroom. That aha moment, that little spark of discovery, that's where real learning happens. When a teacher just gives the answer, they steal that moment of revelation right from the student. Real education is about empowering that discovery, not short-circuiting it.
So the teacher's new job isn't to be a lecturer at the front of the room. It's to be more like an architect of learning. Their job is to build scaffolding. That means creating the structures, providing the resources, and offering just enough support to let students work through the tough parts and climb on their own. And you can really see the difference here, can't you? On one side, just giving the answer creates dependency. It's all about compliance. On the other side, providing those handholds, well, that builds agency. It builds real capability. One prepares you for a factory, the other prepares you for a world full of interesting, unsolved problems.
So, all of this brings us to the ultimate purpose, the real job of this new kind of school. If it's not about creating compliant workers anymore, then
What is it about? It's about empowering people to do something way more exciting. After everything we've talked about, what is the simple, actionable goal for education in the age of AI? What's the new finish line?
It's this. This is the crucial difference. AI is amazing at answering questions that already have known answers. But the uniquely human skill, the one that will always, always be valuable, is the ability to find and solve new problems, the interesting ones that don't have a manual. That is the real work now. And that leaves us with Godin's timeless call to action. You could say this is the new diploma. Don't just fit in, don't just comply. Find an interesting problem, a system that needs changing, a group that needs serving, and go make a ruckus. That's how you make sure AI is working for you.